Imam Ali ibn Abi Talib, Asas, the first cousin of Prophet Muhammad, PBUH, and the first Imam in Shia Islam, is one of the most revered figures in Islamic history. His life was full of divine intervention and miraculous events that testified to his unique relationship with Allah, subhanahu wa ta'ala. Known as the Lion of Allah, Imam Ali, Asas, is remembered not only for his unmatched courage in battle, but also for his deep wisdom, unwavering faith, and spiritual insight. Imam Ali, AS, was a central figure in the early history of Islam, and his life continues to serve as a beacon of guidance for Muslims around the world. From his extraordinary feats on the battlefield to his divine knowledge and spiritual miracles, Imam Ali's life was a testament to Allah's power and favor. This first part will explore some of the most significant miracles in Imam Ali's life, beginning with his incredible strength and divine support in key battles such as the Battle of Khandaq, the Battle of the Trench, and the conquest of Karbala, among others. The Battle of Khandaq, the Battle of the Trench. The Battle of Khandaq was one of the most challenging and significant events in the early days of Islam. The Quraysh, along with their allies, laid siege to Medina, and to protect the city, the Muslims decided to dig a trench around it. However, the trench was not enough to stop the Quraysh's might. As the siege dragged on, the Muslims found themselves in a difficult situation, with their enemies continuing to try and breach their defenses. During this critical moment, Amr ibn Abdawud, a renowned warrior of the Quraysh, came forward. He challenged the Muslims to send a champion to fight him in a duel. Amr was a fierce fighter, undefeated in battle, and his presence caused great fear among the Muslim forces. However, Imam Ali, stepped forward, displaying his courage and willingness to defend Islam at all costs. The Prophet Muhammad, PBUH, famously said, "Ali is the one who will confront Amr. He is the Lion of Allah." This statement emphasized not only Imam Ali's unparalleled strength, but also his divine support. Imam Ali, and Amr faced each other in single combat. Despite Amr's size and experience, Imam Ali, struck him down in a duel that shocked the Quraysh and raised the morale of the Muslims. Imam Ali's victory was not just a display of physical strength, but also a manifestation of Allah's divine intervention, affirming his role as a protector of Islam. The Battle of Khandaq is considered one of Imam Ali's most significant moments of valor, showcasing both his bravery in battle and the miraculous support he received from Allah. This event solidified Imam Ali's title as the Lion of Allah, a warrior whose courage and faith made him an indispensable part of the Muslim community too. The miracle of the door of Kaaba, one of the most famous miracles in Imam Ali's life, took place during the conquest of Kaaba, a significant military campaign in which the Muslims sought to capture the stronghold of the Jewish tribes of Kaaba. The fortress of Kaaba was known for its impenetrable defenses, and the Muslims had difficulty breaching its gates. Many attempts had been made, but the gate of the fort remained unyielding. The Prophet Muhammad, PBUH, then declared that he would give the standard to a man who loved Allah and his messenger, and whom Allah and his messenger loved. Imam Ali, was called forward to take the standard. Imam Ali, rode forward with determination, and with the help of Allah, he lifted the heavy gate of Kaaba, breaking open the fort's defenses and allowing the Muslim army to enter. Imam Ali single-handedly removed the massive gate, and his incredible feat left the Muslim army in awe. The lifting of the gate of Kaaba was not just a physical miracle, it was a divine sign of Imam Ali's unique strength and his closeness to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The Prophet Muhammad, PBUH, praised Imam Ali for this miraculous act, saying, "Tonight I will give the banner to a man who loves Allah and His Messenger, and Allah and His Messenger love him." Imam Ali, was that man, and his victory in Karbala was another divine confirmation of his pivotal role in the early Islamic state. The miracle of Imam Ali's wisdom and knowledge. Imam Ali was not only a warrior of extraordinary strength, but also a man of incredible knowledge. His wisdom and deep understanding of Islam made him one of the most important intellectual figures in early Islamic history. Imam Ali was often called upon to settle disputes, offer spiritual guidance, and clarify matters of faith and law. Imam Ali was known for his profound spiritual insights, and his words continue to inspire Muslims today. One of his most famous sayings is, "He who has no forbearance has nothing." This quote emphasizes the importance of patience and self-control in Islam, key virtues that Imam Ali demonstrated in every aspect of his life. Imam Ali also said, "The best way to defeat your enemies is to keep your mouth shut and be patient." These words reflect the deep wisdom that Imam Ali had in dealing with challenges and conflicts. Imam Ali's wisdom was not limited to personal insights, but extended to his leadership in guiding the Muslim community. His speeches, found in the Nahjul Balagha, continue to be a source of spiritual and intellectual guidance for Muslims. His deep understanding of the Quran and Hadith allowed him to provide clear, just, and divinely inspired rulings. Imam Ali also had a special relationship with the Quran, and his interpretations of it are considered a miracle in themselves. He had an intimate understanding of Allah's message, which allowed him to provide clarity and guidance to the Muslim community, addressing matters of faith, justice, and governance with unparalleled precision. The miracle of his spiritual power and knowledge. Imam Ali's spiritual power was a significant aspect of his life, and it is often regarded as a miracle in itself. Imam Ali was a deeply devout individual who spent long hours in prayer, worship, and meditation. His connection to Allah was direct and profound, and his supplications, are some of the most beautiful expressions of devotion and humility. Imam Ali was known for his self-discipline, which allowed him to control his desires and remain steadfast in the face of challenges. He is often described as someone whose entire life was centered around Allah's will, and his spiritual strength was a source of guidance for others. Imam Ali's ability to remain calm, focused, and connected to Allah during moments of difficulty was a miraculous reflection of his deep faith. In one of his famous prayers, Imam Ali said, "O Allah, you are the light of the heavens and the earth, and through you we find light and guidance." This profound dua speaks to Imam Ali's unwavering reliance on Allah for guidance and strength. Imam Ali's spirituality was a powerful force that not only influenced his followers, but also inspired generations of Muslims to seek a closer connection with Allah. His ability to remain spiritually grounded in the face of adversity is a miracle in itself, reflecting his extraordinary relationship with the Creator. Imam Ali's compassion for the poor and the oppressed. Imam Ali was also known for his compassion and care for the oppressed and the marginalized. He was often seen in the streets of Medina, distributing food to the poor, looking after orphans, and ensuring that no one was left behind. Imam Ali's charity was not limited to just giving material wealth. It was also about providing spiritual guidance and emotional support to those in need. One famous story recounts how Imam Ali, A.S., spent his nights wandering the streets of Medina, anonymously distributing food to the poor. His compassion was so deep that he often gave away his own meals to those who were in need. Imam Ali, us, was known for saying, "The best of people are those who are most beneficial to others." This quote encapsulates the essence of Imam Ali's character. His compassion for the poor, the oppressed, and those suffering was a divine gift. His ability to see the suffering of others and act to alleviate it was a reflection of his deep faith and his understanding of Allah's mercy. The miracles of Imam Ali, the lion of Allah's power. We explored some of the remarkable miracles in the life of Imam Ali, Shia, such as his incredible feats during the Battle of Khandaq, the lifting of the gate of Karbala, and his miraculous strength and divine knowledge. Imam Ali's life was full of signs of his closeness to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, from his unrivaled physical strength to his deep wisdom and spiritual insight. In this part, we will continue to explore the miracles that surrounded Imam Ali, A.S. These miracles include his guidance in times of conflict, his spiritual strength in times of adversity, and the divine knowledge that he was granted, which allowed him to lead with wisdom and justice. Imam Ali's contributions to Islam were not only through his bravery in battle, but also through his ability to interpret the teachings of the Prophet Muhammad, PBUH, and convey the message of Allah in profound ways. The miracle of the night of the Hijrah, one of the earliest and most significant miracles attributed to Imam Ali, A.S., is related to the night of the Hijrah, the night when Prophet Muhammad, PBUH, and his companions fled from Mecca to Medina to escape the persecution of the Quraysh. On this night, the Prophet, PBUH, entrusted Imam Ali with a critical task to stay behind in Mecca and return the belongings and trusts, amanat, that people had left with the Prophet, PBUH. The miracle of this event lies in the fact that, despite the grave danger of staying behind in a city that was hostile to the Prophet and his companions, Imam Ali, chose to stay, knowing that his safety would be at risk. The Quraysh had plotted to kill the Prophet Muhammad, PBUH, as he was about to leave Mecca, and they expected the Prophet, PBUH, to be in his bed that night. However, Imam Ali, slept in the Prophet's bed, taking the risk to protect the Prophet's life and ensure the safety of the people's trusts. This act of self-sacrifice and bravery was a miracle of trust in Allah. Imam Ali understood that his life was in the hands of Allah, and he showed unwavering faith by placing his life on the line to fulfill the Prophet's command. His willingness to take on this responsibility, despite the danger, is a sign of his deep commitment to the cause of Islam and his closeness to the Prophet. The following day, Imam Ali, left Mecca and joined the Prophet in Medina, continuing his journey as a key figure in the establishment of the Islamic State. The miracle of the split of the moon. A remarkable miracle that is often associated with Imam Ali, A.S., is the split of the moon, which occurred during the time of the Prophet Muhammad, PBUH. The event is described in the Quran in Surah Al-Qamar 54:1-2, which states, "The hour has come near, and the moon has been split. And if they see a miracle, they turn away and say, 'Passing magic.'" The Prophet Muhammad, PBUH, was once challenged by the disbelievers to show them a sign, and in response, Allah SWT caused the moon to split into two halves in the sky. This event is known as the splitting of the moon, and it was witnessed by many of the disbelievers in Mecca. While the Quraysh and others attempted to dismiss it as magic, The miracle itself was a divine sign confirming the truth of the Prophet's message. Imam Ali A6 played a significant role in this miraculous event. According to some narrations, Imam Ali AS was with the Prophet PBUH when the moon was split, and he was present to witness this profound event. This miracle demonstrated the divine power and support that Imam Ali AS received, as he was a close companion of the Prophet PBUH and played a critical role in the early days of Islam. Imam Ali's AS knowledge of the unseen. Another key miracle in the life of Imam Ali AS was his divine knowledge. Imam Ali AS was not only a man of immense physical strength, but he was also gifted with spiritual insight and knowledge that far exceeded that of many of his contemporaries. His knowledge of the unseen, his ability to interpret dreams, and his understanding of the future made him an unparalleled source of wisdom in the early Muslim community. One of the most famous examples of Imam Ali's AS miraculous knowledge occurred during the Battle of Siffin, when the Muslim forces faced the army of Muawiyah. Imam Ali A6 predicted the outcome of the battle and warned his followers that they would face a difficult trial ahead. He also foretold that the treachery that would arise among the ranks of the Muslim army would be disastrous. But his words were ignored by some. Imam Ali A's knowledge of the future, his ability to understand the intricacies of human behavior, and his deep wisdom were clear signs of his divine closeness to Allah. His wisdom was not simply intellectual but spiritual, as it came from his deep connection to the divine message. One famous saying of Imam Ali AS is, "He who does not have forbearance has nothing." This highlights the patience and wisdom Imam Ali A6 possessed, making him a spiritual guide for his followers. His knowledge was a miraculous gift that guided not just his actions, but also the direction of the early Muslim community. The miracle of the sword of Zulfikar, perhaps one of the most famous symbols of Imam Ali's AS strength and divine support, is the sword of Zulfikar, which was gifted to him by the Prophet Muhammad PBUH during the Battle of Uhud. Zulfikar was no ordinary sword. It was said to be a divine weapon, and it became a symbol of the Prophet's blessings and Allah's protection over Imam Ali AS. Imam Ali AS wielded Zulfikar in several battles, including the Battle of Karbala, and it was instrumental in his victory. The sword itself is described as having 2 points, a feature that made it both unique and terrifying to the enemy. The sword, like Imam Ali AS himself, was said to embody justice and divine strength. The power of Zulfikar was not only in its physical form, but also in the divine assistance it provided to Imam Ali AS. During the Battle of Karbala, Imam Ali AS used the sword to split the gate of Karbala, a miraculous feat that opened the gates of the fort and led the Muslims to victory. The sword became a symbol of Imam Ali's AS divine right to leadership, his courage, and his faith in Allah. Imam Ali's AS miracle of compassion and generosity. Imam Ali AS was known for his boundless compassion and generosity, both of which are considered miraculous traits. One well-known story that highlights his extraordinary generosity is when Imam Ali AS and his wife, Lady Fatima AS, were fasting, and they received 3 poor people seeking charity. Despite being in need themselves, Imam Ali AS and Lady Fatima AS gave away the last of their food to the poor, showing the utmost level of selflessness. Imam Ali AS said, "The best of people are those who are most beneficial to others." His compassion was not limited to just giving charity. Imam Ali SS, actively worked for the welfare of his people, ensuring that the poor, the orphans, and the oppressed were cared for. His commitment to justice and his willingness to sacrifice his own comfort for the benefit of others made him a living example of Allah's mercy. The miracle of his generosity serves as a reminder to all Muslims to serve others, give without expectation, and be mindful of the needs of those around us. Imam Ali, his life was a testament to the importance of compassion, humility, and selflessness. The miracles of Imam Ali, the lion of Allah's power, Imam Ali ibn Abi Talib, Asi, is renowned not only for his physical feats and courage, but also for his profound spiritual insight, commitment to justice and leadership. As we continue our exploration of his life, we move beyond his well-known military victories to explore the spiritual miracles and divine guidance that defined his character. Imam Ali's life was full of signs that revealed his unique connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and these divine interventions continue to inspire Muslims worldwide. This part will explore more of Imam Ali's miracles, including his spiritual strength, his leadership role in shaping early Islamic society, and his commitment to the welfare of the Ummah community. The miracle of the night of the Hijrah, migration. One of the first significant miracles involving Imam Ali occurred during the night of the Hijrah, when Prophet Muhammad, PBUH, was instructed by Allah to migrate from Mecca to Medina. The Quraysh plotted to assassinate the Prophet, PBUH, so he needed someone trustworthy to stay behind in Mecca and return the trusts, amanat, that had been left with him by the people. Imam Ali was chosen for this critical task. Despite the threat of imminent danger, Imam Ali agreed to stay behind, even though it meant risking his own life. He slept in the Prophet's PBUH bed that night, taking on the responsibility of ensuring that the people's trust was returned. The miracle of this act was not just in Imam Ali's bravery, but in his unwavering faith in Allah's plan. While the Quraysh believed that the Prophet PBUH was in his bed, they did not realize that Imam Ali was there, sacrificing his own safety to protect the mission of Islam. Imam Ali's selflessness, his willingness to put himself in harm's way for the greater good, was a divine sign of his commitment to Allah and the Prophet Muhammad, PBUH. This act is an early example of Imam Ali's character. He was self-sacrificing and deeply committed to the service of Islam, even in the face of danger. 2. Imam Ali's knowledge of the unseen. Imam Ali was gifted with unparalleled divine knowledge, a knowledge that transcended the understanding of most human beings. This knowledge wasn't just intellectual, it was spiritual and mystical, enabling Imam Ali to perceive truths about the world, the unseen, and Allah's will that others could not. One of the miracles attributed to Imam Ali was his ability to interpret dreams and foresee future events. He was also known for his spiritual insight, particularly in interpreting the Quran and the sayings of the Prophet, PBUH. Imam Ali had a unique understanding of the divine messages that the Prophet, PBUH, delivered to him, and he was able to convey these teachings to the community with clarity and precision. He would often speak on matters that others could not understand, and his teachings continue to guide Muslims to this day. An example of Imam Ali's miraculous knowledge occurred during the Battle of Siffin, when Imam Ali predicted the outcome of the battle and warned his followers of the treachery that would come. Despite the difficulties that arose, Imam Ali's A.S. foresight and his understanding of the divine plan helped to guide the Muslim forces through the challenges of the battle. His knowledge was also deeply moral and ethical, and he was known for his just decisions, even when faced with personal loss or difficulty. Imam Ali, A.S., would often say, "He who does not have forbearance has nothing." This quote highlights his belief in the deep spiritual wisdom that guides one's life and the importance of patience, knowledge, and insight in overcoming challenges. The spiritual miracle of Imam Ali's A.S. devotion. Imam Ali's A.S. spiritual power was another profound miracle of his life. He was known for his unwavering devotion to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and his deep commitment to prayer, supplication, and worship. One of the most miraculous aspects of Imam Ali's A.S. life was his spiritual resilience in times of hardship. One of the most famous incidents occurred when Imam Ali A.S. was struck in the head during the battle, and despite the severity of the injury, he continued to pray and worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. His faith and trust in Allah were unshakable, even in the face of physical pain and suffering. His dedication to Allah was unparalleled, and he exemplified what it meant to surrender to the will of Allah in every circumstance. Imam Ali A.S.'s spiritual power was also evident in his leadership as he guided the Muslim community through difficult trials. His words were filled with divine wisdom, and his dua, supplications, are some of the most revered prayers in Islam. One famous supplication attributed to Imam Ali S.U. is the Dua Kumail, a powerful prayer that calls for forgiveness, mercy, and divine guidance. Imam Ali's spiritual devotion was not limited to prayer. It permeated every aspect of his life. He lived according to the highest ethical and moral standards, demonstrating that true strength comes from being deeply connected to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This level of spiritual resilience is in itself a miracle and continues to serve as an inspiration to Muslims striving to strengthen their connection with Allah. The miracle of Imam Ali's A.S. justice. One of the defining features of Imam Ali's A.S. leadership was his commitment to justice. He was a true advocate for the oppressed and always sought to maintain fairness, even when it was difficult or unpopular. His sense of justice was so profound that it is considered one of the key miracles of his life. He was often called upon to settle disputes, both personal and societal, and his decisions were always based on the principles of truth and fairness. Imam Ali A.S. famously said, "Let not your love for someone lead you to injustice, and let not your hatred for someone cause you to deviate from justice." This teaching highlights the importance of equity and objectivity in all matters, no matter the circumstances. Imam Ali A.S. ruled with a sense of divine justice that was rooted in divine law and not personal interest. One of the most remarkable moments of Imam Ali's sense of justice occurred during his caliphate, when a Christian man came to him and accused him of taking his armor. Imam Ali A.S., despite being the caliph, did not hesitate to uphold the law. He made sure that the case was heard fairly, and even though he was in a position of power, he made sure justice was served without favoritism. This event showcases the miracle of Imam Ali's A.S. uncompromising commitment to justice, regardless of who the parties involved were. Imam Ali A.S.'s sense of justice was a divine blessing that set him apart from other leaders of his time, making him a symbol of integrity for Muslims throughout history. His commitment to fairness and truth was a direct manifestation of his closeness to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The miracle of Imam Ali's A.S. compassion for the oppressed. Another of Imam Ali's A.S. key miracles was his compassion for the oppressed, the poor. poor and the marginalized members of society. Despite his elevated status, Imam Ali A.S. lived humbly and always sought to care for those in need. His heart was filled with mercy and concern for the downtrodden, and his actions were often more than what was expected of a leader. One of the most well-known miracles that demonstrate Imam Ali A.S.'s compassion is the story of his late-night wanderings through Medina. Imam Ali A.S. would often go out in the middle of the night, disguised, to give charity to the poor and the needy. In one famous account, he gave away his last meal to the poor, a display of his selflessness and sacrifice. Imam Ali Sin is remembered for his humility and charity, and his actions serve as a model for Muslims to follow in caring for others. Imam Ali A.S.'s care for the oppressed extended to his leadership as well. He was known for ensuring that the rights of the poor, orphans and women were respected and protected. His compassion was not just a matter of charity, but also of social justice. He believed that a just society must protect the vulnerable, and he did everything in his power to make sure that the weak had a voice. The miracles of Imam Ali, the Lion of Allah's power. In the previous parts of this series, we have explored many of the significant miracles and divine signs associated with Imam Ali A.S., from his extraordinary strength in battle to his profound spiritual wisdom. His life was full of miracles that not only displayed his courage and physical prowess, but also his unwavering faith, wisdom, and commitment to justice. Imam Ali A.S. is often regarded as the embodiment of divine strength, spiritual insight, and moral integrity. His leadership laid the foundation for much of the growth of early Islam, and his continued influence can be seen in the Islamic world today. In this part, we will delve deeper into Imam Ali's A.S. leadership, spiritual feats, and ongoing miracles that reflect his unique position in the eyes of Allah. We will explore more instances of his miraculous deeds, his wisdom in ruling, and the remarkable way in which he guided the Muslim community, not only as a military leader but also as a teacher of ethics, faith, and justice. Imam Ali's A.S. life is not just a story of bravery but one of sacrifice, wisdom, and devotion to Allah. Imam Ali A.S. and the spiritual leadership of the Ummah. After the Prophet Muhammad's PBUH passing, Imam Ali A.S. became the focal point of leadership for many of the early Muslims. His role was not only as a political leader, but as a spiritual guide, a teacher, and a beacon of justice. Imam Ali's A.S. leadership was a miraculous act in itself, as he carried the heavy burden of guiding the Muslim community during turbulent times. One of the key miracles of Imam Ali's A.S. leadership was his ability to maintain justice and integrity even when faced with severe challenges. His caliphate, although short, is remembered for its unwavering commitment to truth and fairness. Imam Ali A.S. demonstrated that leadership in Islam is not about power or wealth, but about serving the people, ensuring the rights of every individual, and upholding the principles of justice and equality. Imam Ali A.S.'s famous letter to his Governor Malik al-Ashtar, found in Nahjul Balagha, is a beautiful example of his leadership. In this letter, Imam Ali A.S. emphasizes the importance of compassion, justice, and humility in leadership. He wrote, "The best way to defeat your enemies is to keep your mouth shut and be patient." This advice to his governor underscores Imam Ali A.S.'s belief that true leadership is rooted in wisdom, not anger, and in compassion, not domination. Imam Ali A.S.'s leadership was also marked by his consistent support for the oppressed, regardless of their social status. His ability to lead with fairness and equity is a divine miracle, as it was rare to find a ruler who would prioritize the welfare of the weak and downtrodden. His fairness and honesty earned him the deep respect of his followers, and even his enemies acknowledged his commitment to justice. 2. The miracle of Imam Ali's A.S. patience and perseverance. Imam Ali, A.S., is often remembered for his incredible patience and perseverance in the face of hardship. Throughout his life, he faced enormous challenges, from the political turmoil after the death of the Prophet, PBUH, to the difficult battles he fought in defense of Islam. Despite these challenges, Imam Ali, A.S., never lost faith in Allah's plan. He remained steadfast in his belief that every trial was an opportunity to grow spiritually and serve the cause of Islam. One famous example of Imam Ali, As-Siddiq's patience, was during his time as the caliph. He had to deal with internal dissent, political instability, and the rise of factions that sought to divide the Muslim community. Despite the turmoil, Imam Ali A.S. responded with incredible patience and spiritual fortitude, always seeking the guidance of Allah and remaining steadfast in his commitment to justice. Imam Ali A.S. was also a man of deep faith and trust in Allah's will. During the Battle of Siffin, when faced with treachery and division within the Muslim ranks, Imam Ali A.C. remained calm and patient, seeking to uphold justice in the face of betrayal. Even though he faced great personal loss, Imam Ali A.S. never allowed his faith in Allah's plan to falter. His patience during this difficult period is considered a miracle, as it displayed a level of resilience and trust that few others could match. One of Imam Ali's most famous quotes on patience is, "Patience is of two kinds. Patience over what pains you, and patience against what you covet." This insight reveals the depth of Imam Ali As-Siddiq's understanding of human nature, that true patience involves both endurance of hardship and resisting temptation. This divine understanding of patience is a key element of Imam Ali's A.S. leadership and is a source of inspiration for all Muslims seeking spiritual resilience. The miracle of Imam Ali's A.S. wisdom in resolving disputes. Imam Ali A.S. was known for his immense wisdom, particularly when it came to resolving disputes. His ability to mediate conflicts, provide spiritual guidance, and deliver just decisions is a testament to his divine insight. In his life, Imam Ali A.S. often found himself in positions where he had to mediate complex disputes, whether between companions, tribes, or even between opposing factions in the Muslim community. One famous example of Imam Ali's A.S. wisdom is his involvement in resolving the dispute between Muawiyah ibn Abi Sufyan and the Muslim forces during the Battle of Siffin. Despite the bitter conflict and animosity, Imam Ali A.S. chose a path of peace and negotiation. His decision to offer arbitration rather than continue fighting was an example of his wisdom and vision for the future of Islam. Imam Ali A.S. knew that true justice sometimes requires compromise, and that peace was the ultimate goal for the Muslim community. Imam Ali's A.S. wisdom was not only practical, but deeply spiritual. He understood that Islam is a religion of peace, and that all conflicts, no matter how bitter, should be resolved in a manner that maintains the unity of the community and aligns with the will of Allah. His decisions were always guided by the teachings of the Prophet Muhammad, PBUH, and the divine message of the Quran. One of Imam Ali's A.S. famous statements on wisdom is, "He who does not have forbearance has nothing." This reflects his deep understanding of the nature of leadership and conflict resolution, that wisdom and patience are essential qualities for those in positions of power. Imam Ali's A.S. compassion for the weak and oppressed. Imam Ali A.S. was known for his profound compassion for the oppressed, the poor, and the marginalized. He was often seen helping the orphans, widows, and needy in the streets of Medina. His care for the vulnerable in society was one of the most miraculous aspects of his life. Imam Ali, Ace, demonstrated that true leadership is about serving others, particularly those who cannot help themselves. Imam Ali's generosity was not just about giving money or food. It was about giving of oneself to help those in need. One famous story recounts that Imam Ali, and his wife, Lady Fatima, were fasting and had little food to break their fast. However, when 3 poor people came to their door, Imam Ali, and Lady Fatima, chose to give away their meal to the needy despite their own hunger. Imam Ali, showed that true selflessness is about putting others before oneself, no matter the circumstance. Imam Ali's compassion extended to his role as caliph, where he ensured that the rights of the oppressed were protected. His leadership was marked by his desire for justice, equality, and fairness. Imam Ali, was deeply committed to ensuring that no one was left behind and that everyone's rights were respected, regardless of their status in society. His famous statement, "The best of people are those who are most beneficial to others," continues to inspire Muslims to be compassionate and caring in their dealings with others, especially those in need. The legacy of Imam Ali, a living miracle Imam. Ali's life, filled with divine miracles, was not just about individual feats or supernatural events. It was about his unwavering commitment to Allah, his dedication to Islam, and his deep connection with the Prophet Muhammad, PBUH. His miracles were reflections of his unique role in the early history of Islam, a role that was not just about military prowess or leadership, but about embodying the values of justice, mercy, and righteousness. Imam Ali's legacy continues to inspire Muslims worldwide. His teachings, actions, and sacrifices serve as a model for true leadership, spiritual growth, and devotion to Allah. The lessons we can learn from Imam Ali's life are endless, from his bravery in battle to his deep wisdom in times of crisis, from his compassion for the poor to his unwavering faith in Allah's will. As we reflect on Imam Ali's life, we are reminded that the greatest miracle is not just in extraordinary acts, but in the ability to live righteously, guided by the teachings of Islam. Imam Ali lived a life that was completely in submission to Allah's will, and his life continues to be a powerful source of guidance for Muslims around the world. Part 5. The Miracles of Imam Ali. The Lion of Allah's Power, Finale. As we come to the final part of our series on the miracles of Imam Ali, we look back at his life and legacy, which continues to serve as a beacon of light for Muslims across the world. Imam Ali, the Lion of Allah, was a warrior, a scholar, a leader, and a spiritual guide whose life was marked by numerous miracles. However, his most enduring miracle lies in the legacy he left behind, a legacy that transcends time and continues to shape the spiritual and moral fabric of Islam today. In this final part, we will reflect on Imam Ali's enduring influence, the moral lessons we can learn from his life, and the continuing miracles that emanate from his example. His strength, wisdom, patience, and faith in Allah remain a living testimony to his extraordinary connection with the divine. Imam Ali's life teaches us how to live with integrity, serve others, uphold justice, and maintain steadfast faith in Allah, even in the face of adversity. Imam Ali's A.S. legacy as a spiritual and political leader. Imam Ali, A.S., is often referred to as the first true Muslim ruler, as he governed with a sense of spiritual insight and divine justice. His leadership was not about the accumulation of power or wealth, but about fulfilling the divine trust that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had given him. His reign as caliph was marked by fairness, compassion, and an unwavering commitment to the welfare of his people. Imam Ali, A.C., established principles of governance based on justice, equality, and the protection of human rights. He famously said, "The best way to defeat your enemy is to keep your mouth shut and be patient." This statement reflects the inner wisdom of Imam Ali, A.S. He knew that true leadership was about patience, integrity, and the ability to make decisions in the best interests of the community, not driven by emotions or personal gain. In his letter to Malik al-Ashtar, Imam Ali provides profound guidance on how a ruler should treat the people. He wrote, "You should have a heart filled with mercy for your people and ensure that the strong and the weak are treated equally. Do not be hard-hearted or selfish. Treat them with fairness and justice." This guidance demonstrates that the spiritual essence of Imam Ali's A.S. leadership was rooted in his deep understanding of Islamic ethics. His commitment to justice and equality was revolutionary at the time and is still relevant today. Imam Ali, A.S., also highlighted the importance of knowledge, both religious and secular, for a ruler. He urged leaders to seek wisdom and understanding, as these are the true sources of power. His leadership style was an embodiment of the divine principles of justice, patience, and integrity, making him an eternal example for leaders in all walks of life. 2. Imam Ali's A.S. enduring influence on the Islamic world. Imam Ali, A.S., is more than just a figure from history. His influence continues to shape the Islamic world and Muslim identity. His wisdom, his sacrifices, and his devotion to Allah continue to resonate with Muslims worldwide. Whether it is through his spiritual teachings, his leadership principles, or his unwavering commitment to justice, Imam Ali's A.S. legacy endures in every corner of the globe. Imam Ali's A.S. teachings have been passed down through generations, not only through historical accounts, but also through the sacred texts of Islam, such as the Nahjul Balagha, which is a compilation of his sermons, letters, and sayings. The wisdom contained within Nahjul Balagha continues to be a miracle in itself, offering profound insights into Islam, ethics, governance, and the nature of humanity. The spiritual and intellectual contributions of Imam Ali, A.S., have made him a central figure in both Sunni and Shia Islam, and his principles continue to shape the discourse on justice, leadership, and spirituality. His sayings are frequently quoted by scholars and spiritual leaders, and his example is a model for Muslims striving to lead just, compassionate, and faithful lives. Imam Ali's A.S. example teaches us that leadership is not about status or wealth, but about service to humanity and a deep connection to Allah. His life continues to inspire scholars, activists, politicians, and ordinary Muslims who seek to live with justice, humility, and unshakable faith in Allah's plan. Imam Ali's A.S. miracles of patience and resilience. Imam Ali, A.S., faced countless challenges throughout his life, from the hardships of early Islam to the internal divisions within the Muslim community. After the Prophet's death, despite these obstacles, Imam Ali, A.S., displayed an unmatched level of patience, resilience, and steadfastness in the face of adversity. His ability to endure personal losses, political betrayals, and social unrest, while remaining true to his principles, is in itself a divine miracle. One of the most miraculous aspects of Imam Ali's A.S. life was his ability to remain calm and focused, even when his enemies sought to undermine him. Whether it was during the Battle of Siffin or the Caliphate dispute, Imam Ali A.S. remained patient and committed to justice, despite being surrounded by opposition and treachery. He never wavered in his trust in Allah, and his resilience was a reflection of his deep spiritual connection with the Creator. Imam Ali ASC taught us that patience in the face of trials is one of the greatest virtues a believer can possess. His life is a testament to the power of faith, as he showed that by trusting Allah's plan, we can endure the most difficult of circumstances. Imam Ali's patience is most evident in his handling of the fitna, civil war, that plagued the Muslim community. Despite being wronged and surrounded by division, Imam Ali A.S. continued to serve the cause of Islam with wisdom and peace. His famous words, "Silence is the best reply to a fool," reflect his understanding that patience and restraint often bring about more positive results than rushing into confrontation. The legacy of Imam Ali's A.S. Justice and Equality. Imam Ali's A.S. unwavering commitment to justice and equality remains one of his most enduring miracles. He was a champion of the oppressed and a fierce defender of human rights, ensuring that the weak and vulnerable were treated with dignity and respect. His leadership was rooted in the concept of fairness, and his decisions were guided by the principle that no one should be above the law. Imam Ali A.S. was known for his ability to deliver justice without bias, regardless of the social status of the individuals involved. One of the most well-known incidents of his justice took place when a Christian man brought a complaint against Imam Ali's A.S. army. The man's shield had been taken, and despite Imam Ali A.S. being the caliph, he ruled in favor of the Christian man, emphasizing that justice applies to all, regardless of religion or status. Imam Ali A.S. said, "The best of people are those who are most beneficial to others." This quote encapsulates his philosophy of justice, that true greatness lies in helping others, especially the marginalized and oppressed. His sense of justice was a divine gift, and it served as the foundation for his leadership and his legacy. In the Muslim world, Imam Ali A.S.'s commitment to justice was not only in legal matters, but in his everyday actions. He was a leader who placed the needs of his people above his own and made sure that every individual, regardless of their background, had their rights upheld. The continuing miracle of Imam Ali's A.S. teachings. While many of Imam Ali's A.S. miracles were physical feats, his teachings are considered by many to be the most enduring miracle of all. Imam Ali's A.S. writings and sermons, collected in the Nahjul Balagha, continue to inspire Muslims across the world. His words on faith, morality, and leadership offer timeless guidance on how to live a righteous life. Imam Ali A.S. taught us to always seek knowledge, to live with integrity, and to serve others with compassion and justice. His words have served as the foundation for countless scholars, thinkers, and leaders throughout Islamic history. The miracle of Imam Ali's A.S. teachings is that they remain relevant today, just as they were during his lifetime. His profound wisdom continues to guide Muslims through the challenges of the modern world, helping them navigate life with faith, patience, and devotion to Allah. Imam Ali A.S. was not only a leader, a warrior, and a scholar, he was a living miracle, whose life continues to inspire and guide Muslims around the world. His strength, wisdom, patience, and unwavering commitment to justice remain unparalleled in Islamic history. The miracles of Imam Ali A.S. were not limited to his physical feats, but extended to his spiritual and moral leadership, his sense of fairness, and his deep connection to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The legacy of Imam Ali A.S. is one that continues to shape the world today. His example teaches us that true leadership is about service to others, that true strength lies in faith and humility, and that justice and compassion should always be our guiding principles. Imam Ali's life and teachings are a miracle that we can all draw from as we strive to live righteous lives and uphold the values of Islam. May Allah grant us the ability to follow in the footsteps of Imam Ali, and may we always seek to embody his wisdom, justice, and devotion in our daily lives. Ameen.